Hey guys, it's your boy Artistminer. Today we're gonna what are we doing here? Am I doing this? Now I already did this 2 years ago, so we're gonna do it again. And this is the 2019 version. 2017 version, I had a lot of thoughts. Who was gonna go in the cup final? Who was going to? Some of the things that I did in that video were wrong. I thought Chicago was going to win the Stanley Cup, but I was wrong. I was very wrong back then. So for these teams, I individually will choose who I think is going to win and who I think is going to lose. Now, I actually know who would win these series, but I have a thought on that. So we're going to start off with the Boston versus Toronto series, the least more fun series. I'm a Leafs fan, but in my mind, I think the Leafs are going to lose against the Bruins. Probably in 6, probably in 5, because the team is not as good as it's supposed to be. Unless the Leafs prove themselves that they can beat the Bruins in the first round, which I don't know if they could, but we'll see about that. But for me, I'm going to probably say the Leafs are going to lose against the Boston Bruins, and why I think that. And, of course, that's been sitting. But I don't... No, I'm not... No, I'm not... No. I want Boston to win that series. The reason why I want Boston to win... Okay, I made a mistake there, but because it's my fault. I think Boston will win against Toronto. And I'm probably going to say... the game... Wait. Can I look at both teams? Or I can't. For some reason, I cannot. But, I'm gonna say... that the Tampa... It's hard to tell for the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Tampa Bay Lightning to win that series. But what if the Blue Jackets upset the Lightning? That could be possible, but I don't see that, as I think the Tampa Bay Lightning will win the series because, in my mind, anything's possible. What if the Blue Jackets win the series against Tampa? That would be a big upset. Plus, it would also be very interesting. But I don't see that. I actually see the Tampa Bay Lightning win the series. Due to the fact that they're so good this year, they really proved themselves. Now, for the West, I'm just going to not do the Metro yet. I'm just going to do the West. So I think Calgary will beat Colorado. But the goaltending, I don't know if they can win that series. But they could. For the Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks. This is a series I think it looks like Vegas may win the series. Because I think that actually already. And I think the Sharks will win it, but they weren't really doing well at the end of this season either. They were kind of like Toronto, but the Sharks could beat Vegas. Unless Vegas beats them. Who knows? But I could see a Calgary versus Sharks series. And then for Nashville and Dallas, it's probably going to be Nashville to win that series. But for me, I'm going with a twist for Winnipeg. I don't think Winnipeg is going to win the first round. It's going to make the second round. Because I have these doubts that says, because they were predict to win the Stanley Cup or be in the Stanley Cup final this year, which I think they're not. I say the St. Louis Blues will beat them. Because I actually believe that, and two, the Blues can make a big comeback. And two, Nashville could lose a series, but they could win the series because they played against Winnipeg before, but they could just win in the conference finals, make the conference finals, which I actually think they will. But then I have Tampa versus Boston again. I will say Tampa will beat them again, just because why not? For the Washington Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes, the Capitals win the series. Just because the goaltending. The goaltending is good for Washington Capitals. Better than Carolina's. Because Carolina has two goalies that could potentially help them make the playoffs and potentially probably beat Washington. But I don't know if they can do that. So my mind, I say, is them. I want Pittsburgh to win against the New York Islanders because I don't like the Islanders. Just kidding. I respect the Islanders, but they were disrespectful to John Tavares. And eventually, in the last game against them, the disrespectful stuff with John Tavares has gone down quite a bit. So for this series, it's the same old series again. But I think once again, I don't know. Actually, I might say Pittsburgh's gonna come to the second. Is gonna beat the Capitals again because they could repeat, but then I kind of don't think they can. So I'm going to say Pittsburgh versus the Capitals, and the Capitals lose the series, even though they know how to beat Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh gets their revenge and actually beats the Capitals. That's what I think. And then eventually for Calgary versus San Jose, somehow San Jose beats their goaltending and actually gets to the final. Because I believe that the Sharks will make it to the conference finals. I actually believe that, which means all the Canadian teams are out, which could not be true. Actually, I might change it up. Actually, I might change my mind. The Sharks are probably gonna lose. I might change it up. I'm gonna say Calgary because I'm gonna make it so. Then in the Stanley Cup final. It's hard to put where these teams would be, but I think Nashville would beat Calgary. Because that goaltending somehow it would be nuts. But I'm also going to predict Tampa will make the Stanley Cup final. So I'm going to say they will. And then I'm going to say Tampa will win the Stanley Cup. But I might not say that. I might say it's Nashville. Because, actually, just kidding. I'm going to say Tampa. Because I was joking. I'm going to say 100. I'm going to say for this, I'm going to say 109 goals. No, I don't want to put that. I want to put 109 goals. 109 in... No, I'm not going to say 109. I'm going to say... That's too many, because I'm thinking. I'm going to say, I mean, there's a lot of goals scored, but I'm going to say 56 goals will be scored, probably. I'm probably going to say that in the series. I'm going to say 56. I might get that wrong, but I don't care, because it's just a magic number. I'm going to go with 56. So the reason was I predict these teams, I think some of these teams are going to win. So it's going to be a lot more tricky. But I think that's pretty much how I feel. I mean, we could look at the statistics, but it's not letting me do that. So now I'm going to name it. I'll name this my own bracket. I might change my mind for this one, but I think I'm going to say this. Because what if Calgary just makes it? A lot of people say Winnipeg and Calgary, but I don't think it's going to be that. Next. So for the bonus round, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give... So, Boston over Toronto is going to be in 6. Because it makes sense. It could be in 4. because Toronto's been playing like garbage right now. Has been playing like shit, actually, lately, and they just can't seem... Freddie almost got injured. We had an injury scare for Freddie. I'm going to say that game's in 5, probably. The Capitals are going to beat the Carolina Hurricanes in 6, probably. Pittsburgh's probably going to beat these guys... I'm also going to say in 4, because they get swept. Which I think that could be possible. And then for the Winnipeg Jets, St. Louis and this series can go into a Game 7. Then these guys can go into a Game 5. And then the Sharks, and that can go to a Game 6 series. And then I think for the Calgary versus Colorado, it's going to go a 6 series as well. So I think it's kind of what I think for each series. It's going to be a hard-fought series. And that's pretty much it for the bracket. So I submitted my bracket, and hope you guys enjoy this video. For my bracket episode of